going on YouTube? My name is Will. Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you had a great day at school, great day at work. If you're on vacation, hopefully you're chilling, have a good time. And yeah, let's get right into it. I hope that this video will give you some good value and reconsider Facebook Marketplace as a good tool to get ultimate cash back on your stuff that you buy, or maybe be able to just find some cheap stuff that you can use to upgrade your sim racing setup. So I kind of want to get into the perspective of being a seller on Facebook Marketplace, but first let's think in the eyes of the buyer. So why you should buy stuff on Facebook Marketplace? First, you can get heavily discounted items, especially off retail. You can get maybe 20, 30, 50%, and maybe more if you're lucky, especially if a seller has a short time horizon. They're trying to get rid of something quick. You might be able to send that lowball offer and it might go through. It might be really great. Second, is great for solid items, especially things like chairs, rigs, steering wheels, racing seats. You can even get, seats in real cars that you can, hook up to your sim rig, especially if something like a aluminum profile rig, or you can get some kind of a conversion kit that allows you to put a real seat in a rig, and you can get it for really cheap, especially than buying it new. I say more solid stuff because I'll kind of stay away from non-electronic unless you want to take that risk of, those having more issues. It can not work. There'd be wiring issues, bent pins. So it's just something you have to err more on the caution on, or just be more cautious of the seller when it comes to that stuff. Another pro is already assembled equipment. You don't have to deal with setting it up, especially if you buy it pre-assembled. And then no shipping, especially if things like Moser products take a little while to ship, or some other stuff from other sites, maybe other than Amazon. They're going to take a little while, especially if they're big items. So now we got that out of the way, let's get into why you should be a seller on Facebook Marketplace. So when you buy something online, a lot of it has a return window, maybe 15 days, 30 days, maybe on the holidays it's maybe 90 days or more. But pretty much after that, your item's worth nothing. You can't get any money back when it comes to the terms of buying from a store, unless if you go sell something on a platform like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Java.gg. But personally, I like using Facebook Marketplace. You can really set your own price and get 100% of the margin. I personally use Facebook Marketplace and got over $1,000 of my stuff. I mean, that's been sim racing stuff, PC stuff, some other random miscellaneous things. But I've gotten really anywhere from 70% or more to maybe 30%, I would say on average. And overall, just getting a lot of equity back on the stuff you buy. And I know it's not something you might not think of, maybe pairing equity to stuff like PC parts and sim racing stuff, but this stuff is pricey. If you can get anything money back, it's almost like getting stuff at a discount. Like for example, I recently sold a steering wheel for $50, the 12-inch round mod for Moza ASX wheel. That wheel was like $80, $90. I mean, that's over 55% back. So I pretty much paid half just by selling it, got close to a year of use out of it, and gotten a lot of that money back. I've sold my R5, my VR, so all kind of stuff, my old PC case, and basically getting big chunks of money back of your stuff that I bought in years ago and have used and everything. But so it's really great. What credit card can do that? Even your best credit cards, you might get 3%, 5%, maybe some of those crypto cards maybe 8%, but you're not getting anywhere in the double digits, and especially over 50% of your value is pretty much unheard of, especially when you're buying stuff way outside of its return window. Then it's great. You can use that money, save, or you can reinvest it into upgrades, basically making upgrades cheaper. That might be boy math, but hey, it's saving money and also making your stuff cheaper and kind of justifying your upgrades a little better. You don't feel as bad about it. Plus, you get rid of that clutter and just have more space and not having to sit in your closet, sit in your garage or whatever. So it's great. So I would say for being a seller though, there's two main things you really need to think about. And I would say maybe one more bonus thing. So the two main things are your time horizon, how much money you're going to get. And these are going to kind of play hand in hand. When I think of time horizon, I'm kind of saying, how quickly do you want to sell an item? You need to understand basically the quicker you get to sell, you're more at the mercy of the buyer. So if you need to sell it soon and someone gives you a low ball offer, you might be willing to have to take it to be able to get some cash if you really need it. But the best thing is to have a long time horizon where you're not in a rush. You can kind of wait, sit on your offer, stand firm, and get the money you want. And then the third bonus thing is your seller reputation. So you might not really think about this, especially if you haven't really sold anything on Facebook Marketplace before. Even on Facebook Marketplace, there's reviews. People can send messages about how their experience was. To have a good reputation, I recommend, checking Facebook Marketplace each day, checking your messages, respond quickly as much as you can. I know it's a pain. Like, I don't use Facebook unless if it's Facebook Marketplace. But you kind of have to do it because I had personally offers all thrown out the window just because I hadn't responded. Someone even a day or even a day and a half. Some people are really antsy and really want their questions answered, or they just go by it, or they're just way too impulsive. But that's their own personal problem. So it's just something you have to think about, and also just making sure you have good pictures and good videos, and also update them based on the question that people have. If people want different angles, if they are asking about this, update your listing, update your pictures, update your description, add more details if needed, and just make it look better. Most people on Facebook Marketplace have terrible listing skills. They're, boomers. They put one picture, it's super blurry. All you need to do is take a picture outside, take a picture on a solid surface, stuff like a mouse pad on top of your car, whatever, and take multiple pictures, multiple angles, use your phone. It's not that hard, but you'll be surprised how much you can separate yourself from other people. So going into being a seller, how to get started, I would recommend thinking like a big company, like if you're Amazon or Target or Walmart. What do you see when you're online, when you see their products? You're going to see a simple description, multiple pictures, videos. So what do you want to do? Do the same. Don't have a very wordy description. Don't make it seem like you're super desperate. You're telling a horror story. No, you don't want to scam people, but at the same time, kind of less is more. And those people that want that more will ask. They'll message you, and if they seem serious, give them what they need to help them make an informed decision, just like if you would. Be reasonable. Next, you want to create the illusion of a sale. So when you see a Black Friday sale, what does it show? An existing price and a new price. You can do the same thing on Facebook Marketplace. I recommend listing an item for a reasonable price. You don't want to be so high that people are just not even going to look twice at your item. And then maybe after a few days, if that price is not, people are not really respecting the price, cut it down a little bit. But then you'll see that cut, so it'll look like a discount. So people are being more willing to buy it. So instead of just selling something for $80, put it up for $100, maybe wait a few days, then cut it down to $80. Then they'll see that it's a cut from $100 to $80, and that's a $20 deal, rather than they're getting it for $80 and they're just going to want to undercut you some more. It's Facebook Marketplace. It's marketplace, supply and demand. People are going to want a good deal, but you kind of want to make them feel like they got a good deal, but also work in your own favor. And then when it comes to pricing it, I recommend discounting anywhere from 20 to 50% from retail. Again, you want to make sure people feel like they had a good deal. And you also want people to make it seem like it's such a good deal that they can be impulsive and get it before someone else buys it. Going into that, all the buyers incur all the risk. You're not a store. You're not a company or online entity. You essentially, when you buy, think of the buyer's eyes. When you buy something from Facebook Marketplace from someone, there's no return policy. There's no guarantee that it works, other than if you can test it on the spot. When they buy it, they're just hoping that it goes well. and sometimes that works out great, and sometimes it could be a complete horror story. And also, you kind of want to create impulse buying. So think about your own bank account. If you have $100 laying around, a few $100s, $50, $20, you want to make it so that people can buy your stuff. I would like to make my listing in parts, because people that, sell things, full turnkey sim racing for sim racing rigs are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Who just has that money to spend it on an item like that? Especially, it's essentially a fake car at the end of the day. There's no real utility other than your entertainment. And maybe, you can improve your driving skill and some things like that. But if you sell it in parts, you might have someone that has $300 that can buy the steering wheel, or $500 that can buy the seat, or the rig, or whatever, to buy the monitors. Not everyone wants the whole thing, but people are going to want what they can get. So you need to think about that as well. But also, higher costs means more risks. Would you want to put $4,000 in something that you're not sure if it works? And people, if you have $4,000, you might just go buy the real thing. So as a seller, you need to think of the same thing. You don't want it so out of reach that it would just make more sense or safe for the buyer to just go buy it new. One thing, especially as a buyer, some things you want to avoid is, don't have hostility in your listings. I see too many listings where it says, don't ask if it's not available, no low balls, no this, no that. You want to seem like a friendly, nice seller. You don't go on Amazon and it doesn't say, don't lowball me. It just says what the product is. Very simple. Even if people do try to give you low balls, ask you dumb questions, just don't respond, or just try to flip it. If someone's like, oh, I found a better option. Okay, no problem. Let me know if there's something I can do. Is it the price? Is it too far? Think about like good customer service. You can do the same thing, and you may never know. Like, some people turn around like, hey, I actually will buy from you. Hey, you seem nice. I'll just give you your deal. Or, hey, I'll sell it to you for this. You seem like a nice kid, or whatever. So don't cut yourself short, but don't burn those bridges either. And I would say the biggest thing, do not price over retail. I understand that you might not get the money that you want to get the full money, you want to get 100%. But if you can buy it brand new, there's no point of selling it for the same price that you could buy brand new. Because like I said earlier, you can get a return policy brand new. You can get a guarantee that it works. And then it's not used at all. It's fresh and new, especially when it comes to electronics. Do not sell retail price unless it's something that's super rare. But then it goes back to time horizon. You might have to wait a little longer. You might have to wait for someone to get the cash to go buy your item. So hopefully it's just going to be something to think about. If you like this concept of videos, I'm trying different things. I'm trying a B-roll background with the voiceover. Hopefully you can have a little bit better audio clarity and audio quality. And, I'm just trying new things out. I'm a new channel, I'm a chill guy. I'm sorry I'm quiet. I just kind of want to be authentic and have more raw videos. If you like this video, just like, subscribe, and just join me on my journeys. I go from sim racing to buying a real car soon. And comment below what's your dream sim racing setup or your dream car. I like to know, and I'd love to get a conversation started in the comments. Have a good day. Peace.